stand in the crowded coffee shop on Fifth Avenue and my heart stops. Not metaphorically, it actually stutters in my chest, skipping beats like a scratched record. The ring catches the afternoon light streaming through the window, throwing prismatic rainbows across the polished wood table. My ring, the one James proposed with 14 months ago on that rainy Tuesday in Central Park. I know every facet of that stone. The tiny inclusion at 4 o'clock that looks like a trapped star. The platinum band with its distinctive twist pattern. The inscription inside that reads, "Always, J," and it's on her finger. The woman stirring sugar into her latte is maybe 30. Blonde hair and a sleek ponytail, wearing expensive yoga clothes that suggest brunch in Soho rather than an actual workout. She's laughing at something her companion says, and the ring glints as she gestures. My stomach turns liquid. I don't know her. I've never seen her before in my life. But I know that ring. I've stared at it for over a year, watching it catch light during Zoom meetings, feeling its weight when I rest my chin on my hand, spinning it absently when I'm nervous. James had it custom designed. He told me it was one of a kind. He showed me the sketches, the consultations with the jeweler on West 47th Street. My coffee sits forgotten as I pull out my phone with shaking hands. I pretend to scroll, but I angle the camera toward her table. Click, click, click. 3 photos, each one clearly showing the ring. My ring, I need to think. I need to breathe. I need to not throw up in this bougie coffee shop where lattes cost $9. The logical part of my brain, the part that made me a senior data analyst at 32, the part that solves complex problems for a living, starts cataloging facts. James is at a conference in Boston. He left yesterday morning, kissed me goodbye, said he'd call tonight. The ring has been on my finger every day since he proposed. I never take it off except to shower, except... My hand flies to my left ring finger. The metal feels smooth, familiar. I look down at it properly for the first time in hours. The stone catches the light. The platinum glints, but the inclusion. The tiny star-shaped inclusion that I've memorized like a birthmark. It's not there. I twist the ring, checking every angle. The stone is flawless. The band is identical. But when I slip it off and hold it up to the light, squinting at the interior, there's no inscription. Just smooth, blank metal. The coffee shop spins. Someone bumps my table and apologizes, but their voice sounds underwater. When did this happen? When did my ring become a different ring? I think back through the past few days with the precision I use for debugging code. Saturday morning, I was making breakfast. James came up behind me, kissed my neck, and I noticed he smelled different. Not bad, just not like his usual cologne. Sunday, we went to brunch with his mother, Diane, in Greenwich. She'd been odd, watching me with this calculating look I couldn't interpret. Monday night, James suggested I leave the ring on the bathroom counter overnight because I'd gotten lotion underneath the stone. It'll be easier to clean it properly in the morning, he'd said. I'll use that jewelry solution we got. I'd thought it was sweet, considerate. He switched it. While I slept, while I trusted him completely, James switched my ring with a replica, and now the real one is on that woman's finger. I stand abruptly, chair scraping. The blonde woman and her friend are gathering their things to leave. I can't lose her. My hands fumble with my wallet, throw a 20 on my table, and I'm moving before I can second-guess myself. She exits onto Fifth Avenue, and I follow at a distance, heart hammering. She walks 4 blocks north, then turns east. My analyst brain is recording everything. Red Lululemon jacket, Celine bag, black Range Rover with New Jersey plates parked on East 58th. She climbs in, and I barely manage to photograph the license plate before she pulls away. I stand on the sidewalk, breathing hard, phone clutched in my hand. A woman walking her dog gives me a concerned look. You okay, honey? I don't know, I answer honestly. Back at our apartment on the Upper West Side, I conduct a search. Not a casual glance around, a methodical room-by-room investigation. I document everything with photos and notes, creating a spreadsheet because that's how my brain works best when it's trying not to shatter. James's closet. 3 suits I don't recognize. Labels from a tailor in Brooklyn, not his usual place. Bathroom cabinet, a second bottle of cologne, hidden behind the toilet paper. The scent I noticed Saturday. Home office drawer. Credit card statement for an account I didn't know existed. Charges at hotels in Manhattan. We live in Manhattan. dinner reservations at restaurants we never went to together, jewelry store purchases, including a charge to Bernard's Fine Jewelry on West 47th for $15,400, dated 3 weeks ago. My ring cost $18,000. James showed me the receipt, said it was his savings from 2 years of bonuses. He bought 2 rings, one for me, one for her. The apartment suddenly feels like a stage set, everything false. How many other things has he duplicated? How long has this been happening? I sit on our bedroom floor, surrounded by evidence, and call the one person I trust absolutely. Mara. My sister answers on the second ring. What's wrong? I tell her everything. All of it spills out in a rush of words that don't make sense even to me. When I finish, there's a long silence. Send me those photos, she says. Her voice has that edge it gets when someone has made a serious mistake involving her little sister. Mara is a family law attorney. She doesn't lose cases. And don't confront him yet. We need more information. I have a license plate. I have an investigator. Text me everything. The investigator's name is Rita Velasquez, and she calls me 3 hours later. The Range Rover is registered to Amber Castellano, age 31, address in Hoboken. Self-employed as a wellness consultant, whatever that means. Want me to dig deeper? Yes, everything. It'll cost you. I don't care. James calls that night at 8, like clockwork. I'm sitting in the living room with all the lights off, staring at my phone until it illuminates. Hey, beautiful. His voice is warm, familiar. The voice that whispered promises in the dark. Miss me? Always, I say, and the word tastes like poison. How's the conference? Boring panels and terrible coffee. I'm in the hotel now, about to order room service. What did you do today? I went through your things like a detective. I found evidence of your other life. I followed your other fiancé through Midtown. Just work stuff, I say lightly. Cleaned the apartment. Normal Tuesday. We talk for 20 minutes. He sounds completely natural, asking about my day, telling me about a presentation he sat through. He says he loves me before hanging up. I say it back automatically. Then I text Mara. He's lying about being in Boston. There was no hotel noise. No hallway sounds. Test him. She responds immediately. On it. 10 minutes later, she texts again. Called his hotel. They have no reservation under his name. Never did. Of course not. Because he's not in Boston. He's somewhere in the city with Amber Castellano, probably making the same promises he made to me. Rita's full report arrives via encrypted email Wednesday morning. I read it at my desk, pretending to review data models while my entire world reconstructs itself. Amber Castellano and James have been together for 2 years. 2 years, since before he proposed to me. She posts on Instagram about her amazing boyfriend, but keeps his face strategically cropped out of photos. Recent posts show them at the restaurants I found on the credit card statement. There's a photo from 3 weeks ago, her hand extended to show off a ring. The caption reads, "He asked, I said yes, my ring," on her finger. The comments are full of congratulations. Her friends asking about wedding plans. Her mother commenting, "Finally making an honest woman of you." I close my laptop before I put my fist through the screen. How is this possible? How does someone maintain 2 separate engagement relationships? The logistics alone seem impossible. But then I map it out, applying the same analytical skills I use for work. James travels constantly for his job in pharmaceutical sales. At least that's what he tells me. Those conferences and client meetings and training sessions are actually time with her. When he's working late, he's at her apartment. When he claims he's at the gym, he's living his other life. I think about his mother's strange look at brunch. Does Diane know? Is she complicit in this? My phone buzzes. Mara, can you get out of work early? We need to strategize. I'm already packing my bag. We meet at her office in Tribeca, a sleek space with glass walls and modern art that probably costs more than my car. Mara's assistant brings us coffee, takes one look at my face, and quietly closes the door. First, Mara says, sitting across from me with a yellow legal pad. We need to figure out what you want. Revenge? Evidence for a breakup? Or do you want to ruin him? I want the truth. I want him to admit it. He won't. Men like this never admit anything unless they're forced. She taps her pen against the pad. So we force him. How? She smiles, and it's not a nice smile. We gather evidence he can't deny. We document everything. And then we create a situation where he exposes himself. Over the next week, I become someone I don't recognize. Someone methodical and cold and focused. I install security cameras in the apartment. Tiny ones, hidden in smoke detectors and picture frames. New York is a one-party consent state for recording, which means I only need my own permission. I clone James's phone using software Rita recommends. Suddenly I have access to everything. Texts, calls, emails, photos. There's a separate messaging app I've never seen before, buried in a folder labeled Expense Reports. Inside are hundreds of messages to Amber. Miss you already. Can't wait until Friday told Em I have a conference in Chicago she doesn't suspect anything. That's me. I'm reduced to an initial in his secret life. The messages to Amber are identical to the ones he sends me. Same pet names. Same I love yous. Same promises about the future. He scheduled a wedding venue tour with her for next month. The same venue we toured 3 weeks ago. I document everything. Screenshots, saved messages, printed emails. I create a timeline spanning 2 years, showing his lies in parallel. It's comprehensive enough to present in court, though Mara says we won't need court. We need a confession, she insists. Something undeniable. He'll never confess to both of us. Not willingly. Then we make it impossible for him not to. The plan comes together Thursday night. Rita has been following Amber, learning her schedule. She teaches yoga classes 3 mornings a week in Hoboken, has lunch with her mother every Wednesday, and visits a therapist on Monday afternoons. She's a real person, living a real life, being lied to just like me. I wonder if I should warn her, but Mara advises against it. She won't believe you. She'll tell James, and we'll lose the advantage. We need both of them in the same place, confronted with evidence they can't deny. How do we do that? Mara's smile turns predatory. We throw an engagement party. I send the invitations Friday morning. Carefully worded, deliberately vague, to James's family, celebrating our future. Please join us Sunday at 2 p.m. for a special announcement. The address is a private event space in Chelsea that Mara rented. To Amber, I create a fake email account, using a variation of James's work address. The message reads, "Surprise party for us. My family is hosting. They finally want to meet you properly. Sunday 2 p.m., it's formal. Address attached. I'll meet you there. This is going to be perfect." James is genuinely at a conference this week. I verified it through his company's website. He'll be back Saturday night. Saturday, I move like I'm underwater. I pack James's belongings into boxes while he's gone, methodically sorting through 3 years of shared life. Every shirt I fold feels like folding up a lie. Every book on our shared shelf is a monument to wasted time. His coffee mug in the sink. His toothbrush by mine. The photo of us in Iceland that I loved, all of it fiction. Mara arrives at 6 with wine and takeout. We don't talk much. She helps me pack, occasionally pausing to squeeze my shoulder or curse under her breath when we find something particularly damning. A receipt for jewelry I never received. A card addressed to my darling A. "You're going to get through this," she says, taping up the 4th box. "And then you're going to be better than you ever were with him." I want to believe her. James comes home at 11, dragging his suitcase, smiling. "God, I missed you. Airport was a nightmare. I'm on the couch, fake ring glinting in the lamplight. I've practiced this. Welcome home. How was the conference?" "Exhausting. All I wanted was to be back here with you." He kisses me, and I feel nothing except nausea. "What are you doing tomorrow?" "Actually, your mom invited us to brunch. Sunday at 2. She said it was important." His face does something complicated. "Oh, she didn't mention that to me." "She texted me this afternoon. Said she wanted to talk about wedding planning." The lies come easily now. Maybe I've learned from the best. He recovers quickly. "Sure, okay. That'll be nice." That night, he holds me while we sleep, and I stare at the ceiling, counting down the hours. Sunday morning, I dress carefully. Navy dress, simple jewelry, the fake ring prominent. James wears a suit, which seems excessive for brunch with his mother, but he doesn't question it. We take an Uber to the address in Chelsea. "This doesn't look like a restaurant," James says, frowning at the unmarked building. "Mom said she rented a private space." You know how she likes to be fancy. We ride the elevator to the 3rd floor. The space is beautiful, exposed brick, floor-to-ceiling windows, elegant furniture. Mara has outdone herself. Diane is already there, looking confused. Mara, what's going on? You said this was about a prenup discussion? James freezes. Mom? Then Amber walks in, spectacular in a cream dress, holding a gift bag. She stops dead when she sees us. James? Her voice is uncertain. I watch his face drain of color. Watch him try to compute the impossible situation he's in. His mother, his fiancé, his other fiancé, and my sister, the attorney, all in the same room. Hello, everyone, Mara says, closing the door with a soft click. Thank you for coming. I think we need to have a conversation. James finds his voice. Mara, what is this? This, I say, stepping forward, is the truth. I turn to Amber, who looks like she's been slapped. I'm Mara Chen. I've been engaged to James for 14 months. We live together on West 84th Street. I believe you're wearing my ring. She looks at her hand like it's betrayed her. What? No. James and we've been together for 2 years. He proposed 3 weeks ago. He proposed to me in September of last year, I say. My voice is steady, clinical. He had the ring custom made at Bernard's on West 47th. The original cost $18,000. The duplicate he bought cost $15,400, purchased 3 weeks ago. This is insane, James says. His voice is rising. Mara, what are you doing? Who is this woman? Don't, I say sharply. Don't lie anymore. I have the credit card statements, the hotel reservations, the text messages. I pull out my phone and project it onto the screen Mara has set up. Screenshots fill the wall. Messages to both of us, sometimes sent within minutes of each other. The same I love yous. The same promises, the same lies. Amber makes a wounded sound. You said you worked late. You said you traveled for work. I do travel for work. You told her you were in Boston Tuesday, I say. You told me you were in Boston Tuesday. Rita followed you to a hotel in Brooklyn with Amber. Rita emerges from the back room, professional in her blazer, holding a folder. I have photos if you need them. Diane sits down heavily. James, tell me this isn't true. Mom, they're making this up. I don't know why, but the wedding venue, Amber interrupts. Her voice is shaking. You scheduled a tour with me for next month. The Tribeca rooftop. We toured that venue 3 weeks ago, I add. He told them we were getting married in June. James looks between us, trapped. I can see him calculating, trying to find an exit that doesn't exist. This is what checkmate looks like. Why? Amber's question is barely a whisper. Why would you do this? He doesn't answer, just stands there, suit suddenly too big, face gray. The ring, I say to Amber. Can I see it? She slips it off with shaking hands. I hold it up to the light, find the inscription inside. Always, Jay. Just like mine was supposed to say. I hand it back to her. He had 2 made, identical. So he could give us the same proposal, the same promises, the same life. I turn to James. Did you even know which apartment you were going home to half the time? Or did you have to check your calendar? Mara, please. Let me explain. There's nothing to explain, Mara cuts in. She hands him a folder. Lease termination for the apartment. Your belongings are in storage unit 247 at Manhattan Mini Storage. The rental is paid through the end of the month. After that, it's your problem. You can't just kick me out. The lease is in Mara's name only, Mara says calmly. She can absolutely kick you out. Sign the termination agreement, or I file a formal eviction. Diane speaks for the first time, her voice cold. James Theodore Morrison. What have you done? Mom, I can fix this. How? Amber's voice cracks. How do you fix this? He has no answer. The meeting lasts another hour. James tries several times to justify, explain, minimize. Each attempt falls flatter than the last. Amber cries, then gets angry, then throws her ring at him. It bounces off his chest and rolls under a chair. Neither of them moves to pick it up. Diane questions him like a prosecutor, pulling out details he's forced to admit. Yes, he's been lying for 2 years. Yes, he planned to continue indefinitely. No, he doesn't have a good reason. No, he can't explain why he thought this would work. I loved you both, he finally says, and it's possibly the most insulting thing he's said all day. You don't love anyone, I tell him. You love the attention. The validation of having two women believe your lies. That's not love. That's narcissism. Mara hands him papers to sign. Release of interest in the apartment. Agreement to pay back half the rent he never contributed. Acknowledgement of the terms. He signs everything with shaking hands. Probably because his mother is watching. As he's leaving, Diane stops him. Don't come to Sunday dinners. Don't call. When I'm ready to speak to you, I'll let you know, if I'm ever ready. The door closes behind him with a soft click. Amber and I look at each other across the room. We're not enemies. We're just two women who trusted the same liar. I'm sorry, she says. I didn't know about you. I know. I didn't know about you either. She leaves quietly, and I sink into a chair, suddenly exhausted. You did it, Mara says, sitting beside me. It's over, is it? The hard part is, Rita packs up her equipment. For what it's worth, you handled that better than anyone I've seen. Most people scream or cry. You were like a prosecuting attorney. I work with data, I tell her. This was just presenting findings, but my hands are shaking as I say it. The next weeks are strange. I sleep better than I have in months, which seems wrong. Shouldn't I be devastated? Heartbroken? Instead, I feel light, free, like I've been carrying something heavy and finally set it down. Work becomes my refuge. I throw myself into a massive project, restructuring our entire data architecture. My boss notices. Whatever you're doing differently, keep it up. This is the best work you've done. I stopped being distracted, I say, and it's true. Amber emails me 6 weeks later. The message is short. Coffee? We meet at the same shop where I first saw my ring on her hand. We're cautious with each other at first, circling the topic before diving in. I kept thinking I should have known, she says, stirring her latte. All those canceled plans, the weird scheduling, but he was so good at explaining everything. He made me feel crazy for questioning anything, I admit, like I was paranoid or insecure. Gaslighting. Yeah, we talk for 2 hours. It's strange and healing in equal measure. We're not friends, exactly, but we're witnesses to each other's experience. That matters. Are you dating? She asks as we're leaving. God, no. You? Same. I think I need to remember who I am first. Yeah, I say. Same. 3 months after the confrontation, I get promoted to Senior Director of Analytics. The position comes with a corner office, a substantial raise, and a team of 12 reporting to me. I celebrate with Mara at an expensive restaurant where we order too much wine and laugh until we cry. To surviving, Mara toasts. To surviving, I echo. 6 months after the confrontation, Diane calls me. I wanted you to know, James moved to Seattle. New job, fresh start, whatever he's telling people. I still haven't spoken to him. I'm sorry, I tell her, and I mean it. She didn't deserve to lose her son over his lies. Don't be. He did this to himself. She pauses. You were good for him. Better than he deserved. I'm sorry he didn't appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. I mean it. If you ever need anything, a reference, someone to talk to, call me. It's a strange gift, maintaining a relationship with my ex's mother, but I take it. 8 months after the confrontation, I see my ring in an antique jewelry shop in the village. The real one, with the inclusion and the inscription. It's in the estate jewelry case priced at $12,000. I don't buy it. I look at it for a long moment, remembering who I was when I thought it meant something. Then I walk out. That night, I go to a gallery opening with friends from work. The art is strange, abstract pieces that somehow make sense. I'm standing in front of a sculpture made from shattered mirrors when someone asks, "What do you think it means?" I turn. He's tall, dark hair, kind eyes, holding a glass of wine. Not making a move, just genuinely curious about my interpretation. I think it's about seeing yourself in pieces, I say, and realizing you're still whole. He smiles. That's better than what the placard says. We talk about art, then work, then nothing in particular. His name is Daniel. He's an architect. He doesn't love bomb me or make grand promises. He just listens and asks questions and seems genuinely interested in my answers. When he asks for my number, I give it to him. 1 year after the confrontation, I'm in a different apartment, a better apartment, with tall windows that catch the morning light. I'm drinking coffee on my balcony, looking out over the city when Mara calls. Guess what I just heard? What? James is engaged. To someone in Seattle. Saw it on his Facebook. I wait for the hurt, the anger, the something. It doesn't come. Good luck to her, I say, and I mean it genuinely. She'll need it. You really don't care anymore. I really don't. And it's true. James is a story I tell sometimes. A cautionary tale about red flags and trust. But he's not a weight I carry. He's not a wound that hasn't healed. He's just a man who lied and got caught and lost everything because of it. I think about the ring sometimes. Both rings, actually. The real one he gave me and took back. The fake one he left in its place. How fitting that he thought he could replace something genuine with a convincing copy, and no one would notice the difference. But I noticed. I always notice the details. It's what makes me good at my job, good at solving problems, good at seeing patterns other people miss. And the pattern I saw most clearly that day in the coffee shop, when light caught on a ring that should have been mine, was this. Sometimes the evidence is right in front of you, undeniable and clear, and the only question is whether you're brave enough to believe what you're seeing. I believed what I saw. I trusted my instincts. I gathered evidence. I demanded truth. And now, drinking coffee on my balcony in the morning light, wearing no ring at all, I'm more myself than I ever was with a diamond on my finger. That's the real happy ending. Not revenge, not even justice, though both of those were satisfying. The happy ending is standing here, whole and healed, knowing that I saved myself. Daniel texts, "Brunch later?" I smile and type back, "Sounds perfect." And it does. It really does.